Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. We're going to go over some of your guys' reactions and see what you guys thought about the 100th episode of Fear the Walking Dead, and oh boy, it is not looking good. Guys, this is going to be doing another video today. This one's going to be doing another video for Fear the Walking Dead, and in today's video we're going to be doing a Q&A leading up to what is the Season 7 finale of Fear the Walking Dead, coming up this Sunday on AMC+. So, I wanted to wait a couple days before we went ahead and did this video because obviously I want to kind of let you guys kind of simmer on the episode a little bit, and plus we had the Better Call Saul review yesterday for the mid-season finale, and we had a whole bunch of stuff for Stranger Things, so I kind of figured, I was like, let's take a few days off, kind of, ignore Fear for a little bit, and then we'll kind of come back and discuss this episode once we've all kind of gotten a few days to kind of simmer on this one. So I asked you guys over on Instagram as well too for some questions, and I did get a few from you guys over on there, and then I will go into a few of your kind of fan reactions for episode 100 with you guys over on YouTube. So let's talk about some of the fan reactions, and well, before we do that, let's get into a few questions that we did get on Instagram. So we got two from TWD100, which asked the questions, what made you invested in The Walking Dead, and what got me into Fear the Walking Dead in the first place. So what made me invested in The Walking Dead? Pretty simple, and I've told this story before on the channel as well too. If any of you guys maybe never heard this, I'll say it once again. I started watching The Walking Dead when I was 9 years old in 2013, okay? And yes, I was 9 years old, 2013. I think it was like, I believe like midsummer, and there were 3 seasons on Netflix, and at the time at least. And a buddy of mine was watching season 2, episode 11, and I kind of sat down with him. I'm like, hey, what you watching, man? And I watched season 2, episode 11, Dale's final episode, for all y'all that don't remember, and we kept watching, and the guy watched, the buddy of mine watched the other few episodes of season 2. We watched season 2, episode 11, episode 12, and episode 13. And keep in mind, I had no idea what was going on. I did not know what The Walking Dead was. And when I watched the final 3 episodes of season 2, I was like a 9-year-old kid, and I was just like, whoa, what is that? You know what I mean? And then basically within a few weeks, I binged all 3 seasons on Netflix. Basically, I watched the final 3 episodes of season 2 with a buddy of mine who was watching it at the time. And I was like, okay, 4th season comes out in October. I got to catch up on these 3 seasons. Within a matter of weeks, I did. And then basically ever since 401 onward, I shit you not, I have not missed one episode when they would come out on cable or whatever. And now there's AMC Plus and there's all these other subscription services. But anyway, back then, that's how I got into The Walking Dead. It's not exactly an ordinary story like everybody else. Like, oh, I watched the pilot and then I liked it and this and that. No, I watched the final 3 episodes with a buddy of mine of season 2. And I was like, dude, what the hell is this show? Like, I was like hooked. So I'm like, okay, I'm not watching season 3. I got to go back. I got to make sure I understand what's going on and stuff like that. And I made sure to, get started from the beginning after that. And I was just, oh man, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So there's kind of a story on how I got into The Walking Dead for all you guys that are curious. And what made me get into Fear the Walking Dead? Because I thought it would be good. Honestly, I thought it would be good, simply. I saw the trailer at Comic-Con along with the Season 6 trailer for the main Walking Dead. I remember that same Comic-Con, they had the trailer for Fear the Walking Dead Season 1. And I thought it looked good, and we all kind of did, I'm pretty sure, at least back in the day. And I mean, it didn't turn out the best. It wasn't exactly the greatest show in the world, but yeah, they sure made it look good, I guess. But yeah, that's how I kind of decided to get into Fear, just because I thought it would look good. But anyway, for all y'all that was curious, yeah, that's how I got into the main Walking Dead back in the day. Next one comes from AJ, who says that, do you think, or who do you think is going to be the next person to leave Fear the Walking Dead in the future? So, who is the next actor that basically says, fuck y'all, I'm out? In other words, who is the next one, right? So, this season we've had Althea, she left the show, and we have Alicia Denham Carey, who also just left the show. So, and we also had Nick, who left the show many seasons ago, and, am I forgetting anybody? No, because Kim Dickens didn't want to leave the show, so they kicked her ass out, and then they're like, come on back. But yeah, no, I don't think so. So yeah, those are the people that have left the show so far. Now, season 8, I do think we'll probably have another one because the writing and the storytelling in Fear the Walking Dead has been absolutely horrible. So it would not surprise me if we had another actor that left. And frankly, I think it would be Lenny James. If you want my honest opinion, I think he's the next one. If you ask me to say, you know, I don't want to do this anymore, because he already was considering that in 5B of Fear the Walking Dead. If you guys didn't know, behind the scenes, he did say he wanted to leave. And then Garrett Dillahunt, who played John Dory, was the one to convince him to stay. Then Garrett left the show. So that's kind of frigged up. And now Lenny James, you know, was stuck on there for the rest of season 6 and season 7. And, you know, who could really turn down The End is the Beginning? Who could turn down 601? You know, I think Lenny James genuinely thought the show was going to, you know, go back in, you know, a good direction. And I think he's starting to realize now, more than likely, like, nah, it's getting worse than ever before. So honestly, and I mean that too, like, honestly, I know a lot of you guys said that the worst time for Fear the Walking Dead was 5B. I highly disagree. I think 7B right now is the worst Fear the Walking Dead has ever gotten, to be fully honest with you guys. I definitely think this is the worst of the entire show. So, I don't know. It's the most inconsistent. It's the most confusing. It's the most disappointing. Most visually unappealing. I mean, it's just everything you wouldn't want to have on a TV show right now. I mean, especially 7B. It is just absolutely a disgrace. And in particular, where the story is going, it's definitely one of the worst. But at least in terms of an actor leaving Fear the Walking Dead, at least who I would think would be next, I think Lenny would want to get out as soon as he can. So I'm kind of starting to think that give it another season or two, maybe the contract kind of runs out. I feel like this guy could say, like, low-key, like, you know, peace, I'm out, you know? So we'll see. But at least for right now, I think Lenny James is going to be the next one to leave Fear the Walking Dead. Absolutely. All right, so let's switch things over to YouTube now from you guys. Let's take a look at what you guys think about episode 15 of Fear the Walking Dead. So we get started with Bill. He says that the scene with Strand on the raft where he is, you know, riding away with that cringy smile really was annoying to him. So I agree. I really agree. I mean, Coleman Domingo is a phenomenal actor. He really is. He really brings his A game. But I really do feel like in these recent episodes of Fear, he's been kind of over the top a little bit. And I kind of feel like he's not exactly as good as he was before. The Strand character overall in season 7 was just a flop. I mean, 1 second he wants to kill Will so he can keep Alicia away from the tower. Then in episode 14 he says he did it so then she would join his tower. I mean, the writing is inconsistent. I mean, it seriously is. Like, you know, I don't even think at this point the writers know what they're doing. Like, if you asked these writers about a plot hole, I don't even think they would be able to answer you. Like, truly, I think there are some things that they're just like, yeah, I mean, that don't make too much sense, but, you know, fans will like that because it feels like OG Fear. Strand and Alicia are getting along again, so people will just buy that, you know? I mean, do they think we're stupid? Like, seriously, I genuinely think that they think that we're just dumb, you know? And they're sadly mistaken, because literally every friggin' person I've talked to this week legit has hated this episode. I've even tried to see people that are like, you know, maybe somewhat like it. No, straight up, people do not like episode 15. And honestly, I'm right there with you guys. I think episode 15 was an absolute disgrace. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That scene with Strand was really, really cringy. Next one comes from David, who says that he really, really thinks that this episode was just unbelievable. He also really does not like how they're bringing Madison back, yet it's only because they got rid of Alicia, and everything this season has made him roll his eyes, etc., etc. So, yeah, agreed. Honestly, I could not agree anymore. I mean, seriously, and it's like I said in the video a couple days ago, Madison coming back is John Dory Sr. repeated. That's exactly what this is. You know, season 7 has been a just total repeat of season 6, except way worse. You know, same thing. An antagonist has captured some of Morgan's people and has them inside their settlement. Morgan is out there on his own with the axe, trying to recruit his people and trying to get them back. He's trying to set up a place to bring them out of, you know, said place that they're captured in. And that's literally what this season's been about. And it's the same thing season 6 has been about. And it's the same thing again. Morgan has more than likely forgiven the enemy. Same thing with season 6. You know, take Dakota and leave, Jenny. You know, before June came in, you know, he was going to let Virginia go. Same thing this season. Strand is just allowed to just come with them on the raft, and everything will be fine. It's just like, it's such a load of bullshit at this point. It really is. And I could not agree more with how bad and unbelievable this season has been, because it's so true. This whole season has been going towards Strand and what he's been building. And if it hasn't been that, it's been about getting us to Padre. And all I'm saying, we better fucking see Padre in that finale, because for the love of God, that's all this season's been about, is leading to Padre. It has been about building up Strand, but they failed on that. So can you at least give us Padre to tell us that there was some sort of purpose for this season? Even though Alicia is never going to be able to see said Padre that the character has been trying to get to the whole season. But either way, can we see Padre? Is that what Madison's, in charge of? Or is this just a, false tension, false way to get people to watch, to think there's a Padre out there, even though there really isn't? Would not shock me at all at this point, and that's the frustrating thing about this. Next one comes from Giuseppe, who has 2 comments. The first one is, this is almost like if, with the whole, Alicia leaves, Madison comes back thing, it's a lot like if Rick left, but they brought Shane back instead. And the other one says that he really appreciates me watching Fear the Walking Dead all the way through and covering it on the channel, because the rest of us don't have to. So, well, here's the thing. Okay, so first off, I agree with Rick, that scenario. It's like if Rick left and then they brought Shane back, a character that was dead, but they bring him back anyway, and they say, oh no, he just got him with like a butter knife, it didn't cut through him or something, I don't know, some bullshit like that. That's the kind of thing that we're dealing with Madison's return. And here's the funny thing too, and I think some people actually forget about this. I don't know if you guys were watching, Fear the Walking Dead news back in the day when 4B was airing, but I certainly remember this, because I remember seeing this article a few years back when I was covering the show. Fear the Walking Dead, when 4B was coming out, people were asking about Madison. And what did the showrunners say? And I quote this too. And again, I'm not quoting it exactly, because it's been a few years since I've seen this godforsaken article, but I remember it off memory. They literally said, why we didn't show Madison get killed on screen is because we thought it would be too disrespectful to the character. But yes, in fact, she's dead. Okay, they said that. Look at us now, and that right there is proof to me that they never had any plans to bring Madison back, and they literally told us that. You can't tell me that they were faking us out and playing mind games with us when they dead set reassured us that she was absolutely dead. And the only reason why her death wasn't shown is so it would be more respectful to the character. Bull fucking shit. You do not care about a respectful death. You just killed Nick a few episodes before and had him bleed out right in front of our eyes on screen. A way more beloved character than Madison, might I add. So I don't even give me that shit, honestly. Respect for Madison and not wanting to be disrespectful, and that's why you didn't show her death on screen. No, it's because you wanted that chance that if your show fucked up so much, which at this point it did, that you could bring her back, get the views back up there, and continue with your bullshit. It's the same thing. And that's exactly what Ian and Andrew are doing. And it's really, really starting to piss me off. And I know it's starting to piss a lot of you guys off as well, too. So anyway, last one for today comes from Joanne, who says that despite what anybody says, Fear the Walking Dead is going down, and the Walking Dead franchise. So, yeah. Here's the thing. The main Walking Dead, I still enjoy. I know a lot of people hate on the main Walking Dead. I still enjoy it. I still enjoy watching the main Walking Dead. I'm a big fan of the main series. I mean, that's never going to change. But, at least when it comes to what they're doing and doing, a Maggie and Negan spinoff, and a Daryl spinoff. It doesn't have Carol? It doesn't matter. We'll have Daryl anyway, And, these Fast Walkers and World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead and Rick movies that don't exist and probably never will. I mean, it's like, it's out of this world. Tales of the Walking Dead. I mean, it is just all over the place, I agree that this franchise is kind of a mess. And I can say it. And, that's not an insult to the main Walking Dead. I enjoy the main show. But everything else is, yeah, it is. It's a mess, And it's literally right before our eyes. I mean, we can see how much of a disaster it truly is. So, I don't know. The Walking Dead franchise really should not have been expanded as much as it has. If you ask me, they should not be trying to make the Walking Dead franchise Marvel 2.0. It's not the fucking MCU. We don't need to have a million different, projects and shows and things that connect to this and whatever. Like, I swear to God, Gimple's trying to be the MCU. That's exactly what he's trying to be, and it's starting to piss me off. Honestly, all we need right now is a good quality main Walking Dead show with the return of Rick in 11C to make us feel like it's a conclusion. Give us one movie to show us what the journey was like, and then Tales of the Walking Dead on backstories of characters that we want to see. There is your franchise. You don't need Fear the Walking Dead. You don't need World Beyond. You don't need this stupid bullshit Daryl show and Maggie and Negan show. You don't need the bullshit. You just need a clean story and a good conclusion. I don't understand why you have to do all these spin-offs. You're not the MCU. Stop trying to be the MCU. Fuck off. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but, you guys know I don't cover anything up in these videos. I say what's on my mind, and that's exactly what's on my mind. When it comes to this franchise, that's exactly what I mean when I say this franchise is over the top milking every show, and it's really ridiculous. So, I mean, it's so bad to the point where even the main show now is suffering because they can't kill many of their characters because they need them for spin-offs. Like, it's such bullshit. It really is. So anyway, AMC and their money making. I mean, it really is that simple. It's a combination of AMC and their money making and what Gimple's trying to do, turning this into the MCU 2.0. I mean, that's exactly what this is. So anyway, that is it, guys. Fear the Walking Dead episode 15 was not well received. Holy shit. Well received, and honestly, I mean, it shows. It absolutely shows. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. And again, we'll see what this episode brings. It's the season 7 finale, thank God. So we'll have to see what we get. Madison's back. We'll see what we get for the final episode, but that's that. If you have any more Q&A comments or questions, definitely, leave them down below. I'll probably do at least another Q&A maybe on, Thursday, Friday, something like that. We'll do maybe one more. So anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Write your comments in the comment section below. And of course, guys, if you're new here, make sure to click that subscribe button to notice some of my videos for Fear the Walking Dead. Follow Dan's Walking Review, subscribe, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.